Hello guys, so this is part 3 of our no, yeah. So this is part 3 of our series how to create Pac-Man game from scratch in Java. And in this video what I intend to do is to make that our little Pac-Man can eat the apples and win the game. Yes. So I think this is not going to be so hard. And let's see where we stop here. As you can see in the last video, we finished the collision detection. Perfect collision here in the corner, as you can see. Right, perfect. Our enemy is still they don't move, they don't have an AI yet, but yeah. So yeah, as you can see now, I changed the theme of my Eclipse, but man, I didn't like that. This is too colorful. uh, I'm gonna make also a tutorial teaching how to change the theme of the Eclipse if you want to, but man, let me change this. Appearance. Let me see a cool one here. Have all this color here, these options. Yeah, let's try this one. Oh man, this looks nice. Alright, so let's start. Where did you stop here? We move here, our tick method. Alright, so let's think a smart way of doing this. Our level. Game dot level. So what level? Oh man. Okay, so our level class here in our game class is static, so it's easier to access to interact between all the classes. So what we do here is simply make a for loop for int I equals 0, I is less than game dot level dot apples dot size. But yeah, I mean this is gonna work, but let's make something prettier here. Pretty code level. Let's make no dot level. Let's access here, and is less than level dot apples dot size I plus plus. Now we are looping through all the apples that we have in our game, and let's our player class extend the rectangle class. So what we can use is if this dot intersects with our level dot apples dot get y, then what we wanna do, level dot apples dot remove I. So when we check collision with apple, we remove this apple and we break. Alright. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. Let's try. As I told you, this is pretty simple. You can see with the apple, pam pam pam. Here, yes. 10. Yes, it is working perfectly. Let's see now what we can do. So let's make this little check here. If our level dot apples dot size for equals 0, that means that we don't have any more apples in the game. So let's just close the game to see if this is working. Let's eat all the apples. Go here. is working. So what I'm going to put here, so here we are going to work at this later. When we make our menu system. And what can we do now? Sprites, perhaps. Oh man, you don't wanna see me making game art. I am so terrible, but I think I'm improving. But at the same time, I still suck. Okay, so let me think. What is better? Okay, so let's work at the sprite sheet. And all right. So what you can do, you could load each sprite separated, but this is not so efficient. This is slow. So what we do, we create an image, a large image. Once yeah, this is a good size. So each sprite is going to have 16 pixels. What I'm going to do, if you are using paint.net, I'm using an extension called this grid maker here. You can just you can Google it. It's grid plugin for paint.net, and here you choose the side 16. 16 line width is equal 1, correct? So we are gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? Yeah, 10 sprites here. It's 10 per 10. And for each block of these, we are going to draw our sprites, and then we load at the game this. And when we want to draw, we just we are going to make a little class to manage this and to crop what we want to display at the screen. Okay. So what do we want to do first? Let's make our little PAC-MAN. Okay, man. So I'm just warning, I'm not good with art, but let's try to do something cool here. So let's see. Oh man, no. Let's use our circle 2, I think is better here. No. Yay, this is my PAC-MAN. It's so pretty, right? Okay, let's crop it here. Let's put here a little animation for us when we decide to make it. What the F I'm doing? Okay, wait. As you can see, I'm so good. Yes, they're in the same position. Yeah, man, I think this is gonna work for our purpose. If you wanted to download a better art, you can try. You can download and you just copy here instead of these art that I did, right? So Yeah, I think it's good. Our Pac-Man. Let's make a little ghost. I'm not going to animate this one, just uh, oh man, what the no. This looks like a spaceship, right? What am I doing, man? Uh, these last two? Last two? This last one, two. Man, I don't know what I'm doing. You guys are making me nervous. Shit, man. What? Last two here. Actually, I never used this tool before. I'm just trying something new here. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. Man, that's not what I want. Just gonna fill with some background color for that yes. Nope. Nope. You can skip this part of the video if you want. I know there are some of you that are laughing from me, but yeah. Okay, these are gonna be our ghosts. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, that's not right. Maybe, maybe a little here. His eyes. Oh man. All right. Now we need transparency, of course. Of course. After you learn how to load these sprites, you can do whatever sprites you want. If you want to make a sprite for the app or for whatever you want. All right. So what we're gonna do? Save as. Let's go to workspace, Pac-Man, YouTube, res. Let's create another folder here and let's call sprites. And I want you to save this image as sprite sheet. Perfect. Remember guys, always when you save something new to your resource folder, you have to refresh here, otherwise it's not going to load correctly. So it is here, as you can see. Let's create another class called sprite sheet. This is the easier way to do. public sprite sheet. We need a constructor, and in this constructor let's call a path, right? And we need a buffered image. Let's call this sheet, right? Let's make this private. Import. Man, I didn't like this theme either. I'm gonna change later. So let's load. Sheet is equal image io dot read. I'm going to explain this method here. Dot get resource. So here we call our path variable here that we put in our constructor, and here this might fail, so we need to surround with a try and catch. I think is here is IO exception. Here you call let's print fail to load image. Okay, so if we load this properly, if we load this correct, we're not gonna have any problems, of course. So this method here is image.io.read. We are reading our image, and yeah, so that's basically that. And with a buffered image, you can crop the image, you can read pixel values, you can set pixel values. There are a lot of methods that are really handy for game development, graphics in general. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's create another method in this class called, and we are going to return another buffered image, and let's call this get sprite, right? And return. At the parameters, let's put xx and yy. I'm going to explain this. And return sheet dot get sub image. You guys, I bet you already know what I'm doing here. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is so we are loading the image for this variable, and this method here get sprite. We are going to we are going to choose a position of our sprite that we want to grab the image, and as default we know that it's 16 by 16. So here is the start x, the end x is the start plus 16, and same for the y-x. Okay, so here we know that this is in row 0 and col 0. Okay, so just a minute, guys. Sorry guys, I had to help my father. So continuing, so here in our sprite we know that here is x0 and y0, and here is x16 and y0, but the system I'm making here is the grid system. So when we load this, we have to divide this value here, that is position 16 for 16, so this is actually the 1. Okay, so what is this warning here? Okay, so let's see if this is working. Alright, let's save this one. Okay, so let's load here in our game. Let's make static sprite sheet. Let's call this as sprite sheet, and sprite sheet is equal new sprite sheet. What is our path? Here sprites sprite sheet. Let's see if this is working. So no error messages, so it is loading correctly. And now let's put the tester in our player, right? So alright, so I'm going to load here. Let's load. I'm calling the local variable here sheet, and I am accessing the sprite sheet class from our game class. Alright, and here for draw our image is here is the draw image method. You already imagine what this does. So the first parameter is our image. So sheet dot get sprite, the method that we created, 0 0, that is our position right here for this sprite. And second position is our x position, y position, and the last parameter you put no. So here what we are doing, let's check this out. So as you can see, our PAC-MAN loads correctly, but this is 16 by 16. What I usually do to my games, I create small sprites, and then when I render, I like to scale. So let's scale this for 2. So we know that our grid is 32 by 32, our sprite is 16 by 16. So 16 times 2, 32. So 32, 32. This is our width and height. Okay, so I'm scaling here for our grid, and as you can see, it is better. You can see the pixels here. I think this is pretty cool. Right? So yeah, we are loading sprites now, and I think for this video is it. And for our next video, what we're going to do is animating our sprites, and hopefully we are going to start making the artificial intelligence for the enemy start to chase us. Man, you're going to see how cool is going to be this artificial intelligence. It's going to be a legitimate, oh man, how do I say that? Okay, so it's going to be a like PAC-MAN game. It's going to be pretty cool, trust me. Alright, thanks guys for watching. If you like the video, please leave your like and subscribe, and see you guys at the next video.